Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello guys, my name is Nisrina Nabila, 3 last number NPM 384, and this is my friend.
Hi guys, my name is Nur Hasana with the last NPM 413.
Hello, my name is Kedalina Hudoyo. My last NPM number is 376.
Hello everyone, welcome to our video presentation. We are from third group. We will discuss the analysis of science at Living World Mall Katawisata using 3 main approaches in linguistics. First is pragmatics, second is semiotics, and the last is linguistics landscape. We will explore how these signs communicate, influence, and represent the surrounding community. In Living World Mall is an interesting location because it is a multi-mall public space with many visitors from various backgrounds. Data for this analysis were collected through direct observation at Living World Mall Katawisata. We documented various signs including place signs and public announcement. This approach allowed us to understand the language use, the context in which they were placed, and their communicative purpose. For subfield analysis, in pragmatics, we analyze how signs convey meaning according to context. For semiotics in linguistics is the branch of science that studies signs and how they function to convey meaning. In the context of linguistics, semiotics focuses on the way language is used as sign system to communicate. In the linguistic landscape, we analyze the use of language and visual design of sign.
Number 1. Dilarang bersandar. Do not lean on glass. This sign is a directive speech act warning visitors not to lean on glass. The prohibition serves as a safety warning as glass breakage and potential accident are concerned. The mall management isn't responsible for injuries caused by ignoring this warning. This directive aims to ensure visitor safety and property protection. So, from a pragmatic perspective, this instruction aligns with institutional implications, safety concern, liability avoidance, and property protection.
From semiotics perspective, based on semiotic theory by Roland Barthes, the first sample reveals 3 meaning. The denotation's meaning that reveals from sample 1 is the sign prohibits leaning on glass, illustrated with a person's lean on glass and crossed out by a red line, accompanied by text in both Indonesian and English. And the connotation's meaning is, this emphasizes the fragility of glass and potential danger, promoting a sense of safety and care. The red crossed out symbol visually reinforces the seriousness of prohibitions. The bilingual text implies that the place caters to both local and international visitors, enhancing its global image. The myth suggests that glass, though symbol of luxury and modernity, is fragile and must be treated with caution. There is a broader social belief that modern architecture, often using glass, demands a higher level of cultural level of careful behavior.
From the linguistic landscape perspective, the first example is do not lean on glass. This sign is top-down, created by management Mall Living World Katawisata to enforce rules and maintain security. The symbols on this sign provide clear visual information to visitors. The languages are used in this sign, Indonesian and English. The use of Indonesian as the main text, dilarang bersandar, with a larger font size indicates that this is the dominant language spoken by the majority of local visitors, while the English translation is do not lean on glass is used to reach English-speaking audiences, such as foreign tourists or expatriates.
Number 2. Musola, praying room. This sign is a declarative speech act providing visitors with information about a specific location or facility, the prayer room. From a pragmatic perspective, this directive aligns with institutional implications, serving as information about available facilities.
By Roland Barthes' theory, the second sample reveals the denotation's meaning as a sign indicating a prayer room or musalla with a mosque icon and the words praying room in English. The design uses a blue background with white text and symbol. And the connotation's meaning that reveals from sample 2 is the blue color evokes peace and spirituality aligning with the purpose of a prayer room. The mosque icon, featuring a dawn and crescent moon, is a universal Islamic symbol clearly identifying the space as a place for Muslims. The English translations add an inclusive touch, accommodating international visitors. The mid-hairs reflect the social value that spiritual practices remain integral even in modern public spaces. The presence of a musalla reinforces the idea of social harmony and respect for the religion's diversity, suggesting that spiritual spaces foster balance in an otherwise fast-paced environment.
From the linguistic landscape perspective, the second example is praying room. Design is top-down, created by management Mall Living World Katawisata to guide user in locating a designated prayer room. The symbols and text on design serve to provide clear and accessible information for all visitors. Two languages are used on design, Indonesian and English. For the Indonesian is musala and the English is praying room. The use of Bahasa Indonesia reflected the primary language of the local population, while English is included to accommodate international visitors and show the inclusivity and global nature of the space. The Indonesian term musala is written larger and placed first, indicating that Bahasa Indonesia is the primary language used the majority of visitors, with the English translation following as a secondary option.
Number 3. Mohon menjaga barang bawaan Anda. Check your belongings. This sign exemplifies a directive speech act, instructing visitors to safeguard their personal belongings. The instructions aim to promote individual responsibility and minimize losses. From a pragmatic perspective, this directive aligns with institutional implication, serving as a safety warning and liability avoidance measure.
The denotation's meaning that reveals from sample 3 is the sign provides a reminder to keep an eye on personal belongings and states that the management is not responsible for any loss or damage, written in both Indonesian and English. For the connotation's meaning, the message conveys a sense of caution, encouraging visitors to be vigilant, and it reflects the management's attempt to protect themselves legally while softly shifting the responsibility onto visitors. The bilingual text indicates professionalism and the presence of an international audience, suggesting the venue is modern and widely frequented. The myth here is that public spaces inherently involve risk. Thus, visitors must take full responsibility for their possessions. This reflects the social belief that modern commercial spaces prioritize security and personal accountability.
From the linguistic landscape perspective, the third example is check your belongings. We are not responsible for any loss and damage. This sign is top-down, created by management Mall Living World Kota Wisata and Sahabat Kota Wisata to provide information and disclaimers to visitors. It aims to remind individuals to be responsible for their belongings and to absolve the management of liability for any loss or damage. The sign used two languages, Bahasa Indonesia and English. Bahasa Indonesia as the national language is prominently displayed at the top and in a larger font, indicating its primarily important to the local audience. The English translation is provided at the bottom for international visitors or non-Indonesian speakers. This bilingual presentation reflects an effort to be inclusive and accessible in a potentially multicultural environment. The tone of the sign is formal and directive, beginning with mohon, a polite request to emphasize courtesy while maintaining authority. However, the English translation has minor grammatically inconsistencies, such as check your belongings should be belongings, suggesting an informal adaptation for non-native English speakers.
Number 4. Alat pemadam api, fire extinguisher. This sign exemplifies a directive speech act providing instruction and guidelines for operating fire extinguisher in emergency situation. Its purpose is regulate and facilitate effective fire extinguisher usage. From a pragmatic perspective, this aligns with institutional implication, conveying protocol instruction and established safety regulation.
The connotations meaning that reveals from sample 4 is the straightforward design of the instructions, free from technical jargon, suggests that the information is meant to be accessible to anyone, even those without prior training. The bilingual text, Indonesian and English, further amplifies that the guide is intended for a diverse audience, including non-active speaker, often found in public spaces like malls or office. The myth that reveals from sample 4, this sign constructs a narrative about the importance of being prepared for fire emergencies. The fire extinguisher is not merely a tool, it becomes a symbol of collective responsibility in preventing and mitigating disaster. The idea that having a fire extinguisher and knowing how to use it is both a moral duty and a professional obligation. In modern society, this reflects the cultural value of risk management, where individuals are expected to contribute to the safety of themselves and others in public spaces.
From linguistic landscape perspective, the fourth example is fire extinguisher. This sign is top-down, created by management while Living World Kota Wisata to ensure safety and emergency preparedness in public space. It provides visual and verbal instruction on how to use a fire extinguisher. The sign used two languages, Bahasa Indonesia and English, reflecting a multilingual approach to accommodate local and international users. The dominance of Bahasa Indonesia, displayed in larger font and more prominent placement, indicates its primary audience as local speakers. English translations are provided below to ensure inclusivity, especially for foreigners who may not understand Indonesian. The use of red as primary color emphasizes urgency and danger, in line with global conventions for safety and hazard signage. The inclusion for visual icon facilitates an understanding, especially for those with limited literacy or non-native speakers.
Number 5. Pintu ini harus selalu tertutup dan hanya digunakan dalam keadaan darurat. This door should always be closed and only used in an emergency. This sign performs the directive speech act with regulating behavior concerning the emergency door. Its instruction ensure unobstructed access during emergencies, emphasizing safety and readiness. From a pragmatic perspective, this directive aligns with institutional goals to safeguard public well-being and prevent hazard. By explicitly stating rules, the sign promotes compliance and reinforces safety protocol in shared space.
The denotations meanings that reveals from sample 5 is the signs presents a non-entry sign directed at unauthorized individuals. The primary visual element is a red hand symbol accompanied by the word stop, large text reading, dilarang masuk or no entry, emphasizes the prohibitions, and additional explanations clarify that the door should only be used in emergencies and must remain unobstructed. Red and blue are used to highlight different parts of the message. On the connotative level, the red hand symbol paired with the word stop conveys a strong sense of authority and prohibitions. This universal symbol immediately communicates that access to this area is restricted. The bold capitalized the text dilarang masuk adds emphasis to the seriousness of restrictions. The use of red in the visual and textual elements suggests danger and urgency, while the blue text conveys formally and institutional authority. Together, this color creates a balance that underscores the importance of adhering to the rule. The sign emphasizes the need to keep the emergency door accessible and ready for use even critical situations. The myth here that the emergency door becomes a symbol of protection and readiness in the face of danger. The sign serves as a reminder that quick and unobstructed access to the door is crucial for ensuring safe evacuations during emergencies. This myth underscores that the idea that modern safety systems rely on individual discipline of collective responsibility. The non-entry sign is not just a physical restriction, it reflects a cultural value that prioritizes adherence to safety protocols and the foundations of collective well-being.
From linguistic landscape perspective, the verb example is stop. This door should always be closed and only used in emergency. Do not place any items blocking the door. This sign is top-down, created by management Mall Living World Katowice to enforce rules and ensure safety. The text on the sign provides clear visual information to visitors about the rules for using emergency exit. This sign uses two languages, Indonesian and English, because the mall is located in an urban area or tourist center frequented by locals and foreign tourists. English is used to make it easier for international visitors to understand rules. Indonesian is written larger and at the top, indicating the Indonesian is the main language spoken by the majority of visitors. Meanwhile, the English translation is displayed. To ensure inclusivity, the use of a hand symbol with the word stop provides a universal visual cue that can be understood by people of all backgrounds without reading the text. The bold red color is used to attract attention and emphasizes the importance of the rule as written. The presence of this sign reflects attention to public safety and regulation. For the conclusion, signs in Living World Mall provides interesting insight into the relationship between language, society, and public space. With this analysis, we hope to raise awareness of the importance of language in everyday communication in public space. Thank you for watching.